very hard to come up with a really cute assembly that informs you about Canada and also entertains you. I want to thank Mr. Benjamin and Mr. Heater for their technical and musical assistance. I want to thank my wonderful aide, Mrs. Holmes, for being there through the whole ordeal, or should I say experience. I want to thank Judy Bergeson, who came in and helped me out as our drama coach, Mr. Marcoux for helping to set up, and I also want to highlight a couple of students. Prem Penkar, I want to thank you for your perseverance in putting together a second PowerPoint after the first one was accidentally deleted. I want to thank Jonathan for wearing a kilt, which I think was very brave. And I want to thank Noah. Noah's a little bit behind the scenes today. He's doing props, and I just want to highlight that. He's been very helpful to us. So our first skit, it starts with about a month ago, and Lily and Zach meet up at the bus stop.
Zach, is that you? Under all those layers?
Yeah, really creeps. My mom wants me to be prepared just in case we have outbursts. Yeah, Lily, it's me. My mother wants me to be prepared just in case we have outdoor recess today.
Ooh, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have indoor recess today. I saw the weather report last night. Arctic air that normally stays over Canada is dipping down over the United States, lower than usual. We're gonna have some super cold temperatures for the next few days.
Wow, those Canadians must be pretty hardy. Isn't it weird to think they're as cold as we are?
Still winter, and construction season.
And the kids probably have to wear their Halloween costumes over snowsuits.
I'm glad we're going to be learning about Canada in school. I'm curious to know all about it. All I know right now is that they have a maple leaf on their flag and 2 national languages, English and French.
Yeah, and I'm interested to learn about the hockey teams.
Miss Davis says that we'll be doing our assembly in January on Canada. She says that the assembly will have some Inuit dancing in it. Won't that be fun?
No way. You won't catch me dancing at any assembly. Hey, here comes the bus. Thank heavens, my feet are frozen.
Mine too. Hey, save me a seat, okay?
Sure.
Good morning. My name is Kareem. Bonjour. My name is Abby. We welcome all of you to our show called There's a Whole Other Country Up There. In 4th grade, we learned about our neighbor to the north, Canada. It is a vast country, 3,800 miles wide. In fact, it is the 2nd largest country on Earth. However, even though it is much bigger than the United States, it only has a population of 35 million people, about 1/9 of the population of the United States. It is a country of outstanding beauty. Picture tall, majestic mountains with goats and eagles, beautiful sparkling lakes full of bass and trout, dense forests full of elk and moose, rugged rocky coastlines, and great plains of golden wheat. Yes, it's a great place to vacation. But keep in mind, it is north of the United States, except Alaska. So Canada's average temperatures are lower than those in the United States. Brr, imagine what it must have been like this winter. I know. Also keep in mind, in that some parts of Canada, especially the province of Quebec, The primary language is French, so you might want to brush up on your French before you travel there.
Canadians are fiercely attached to their own nation, and they feel they are quite different from Americans in many ways. One way they are different is that when they speak, a lot of English speaking, Canadians might say eh at the end of a sentence. You know what I mean? Eh?
In fact, I think you spell Canada C-A-N-A-D-A.
Please sit back and enjoy our skits, dances, and songs. Then we'll tell you a little bit about Canada.
We have not had a lot of time to practice on stage, so please be patient as we move our props about.
Hi, I'm Maggie. Hi, I'm Maggie. Canada is not defined to states like the United States, but to provinces and territories. There are 10 provinces and 3 territories. We're going to introduce you to provinces moving from east to west. As we talk about the provinces, you'll see some slides of them put together by Cam, Noah, and Max. Here comes Jonathan as Nova Scotia, the first and most populated Atlantic province. Nova Scotia is known for its beautiful rocky coastline. It's also known for shipbuilding, fishing, and shipping. Nova Scotia means New Scotland, and the people there celebrate their heritage with more than 700 festivals each year. Next, here comes Catherine as Prince Edward Island. It's the smallest of the Canadian provinces, but it's considered one of the prettiest, with its beautiful cliffs and red soil. Much of the book Anthony Bizzle found Prince Edward Island. Our Anne is eating French fries to celebrate Prince Edward Island's best-known crop, potatoes.
Hi, I'm Chris. Here comes the other Chris as another Atlantic province, New Brunswick. New Brunswick is known for its fishing, mining, and agriculture. It is also known for some of the highest tides in the world in the Bay of Fundy. Chris is making sure he does not get wet when the high tides pour over 100 billion tons of water into the bay. The last Atlantic province is made up of 2 parts, Newfoundland and Labrador. So here come good friends Max and Andrew. This beautiful province is the easternmost point in North America. It even has its own time zone. In Newfoundland, you can find Viking roots from over 1,000 years ago. That means that the Vikings sailed across the Atlantic Ocean to Canada way before Columbus ever arrived in America.
Hi, I'm Gavin, and I'm moving west to central Canada with its 2 provinces, Ontario and Quebec. They are the manufacturing heartland of Canada and contain more than half of Canada's population. They have very different cultures, however. Here comes Canada's Quebec. Quebec was settled by the French in the 1600s, and it still retains its French flavor today. More than 3/4 of its population speaks French as their first language, and it contains the second largest French-speaking city in the entire world, Montreal. Next, here comes Andrew as a government official from Ontario. Ontario has Toronto, Canada's main financial center. It also contains Ottawa, Canada's capital, and there are many cool-looking government buildings there. If you've ever been to Niagara Falls, you have been right across from Ontario.
Hi, I'm Thomas, and I'm moving farther west. Here comes James and Clem as two of Canada's prairie provinces, Saskatchewan and Manitoba. They contain some of the best farmland in the whole world, and wheat is a major crop.
These provinces are also rich with minerals and they produce a lot of oil. Next comes John's Alberta. Alberta is known for cattle ranching and is home every year to a huge 10-day rodeo called the Calgary Stampede. In western Alberta, the plains end and the Canadian Rockies are there. There you find some of Canada's most beautiful national parks, Jasper and Banff.
Hi, I'm Lucia. We've now come from the Atlantic to the Pacific. Here comes Abby as British Columbia. It is a very popular vacation spot with spectacular mountain forests and a beautiful Pacific coastline. As you might guess from the name British Columbia, it was explored by British explorers. The capital, Victoria, was named after the British Queen Victoria. It has beautiful gardens and grand hotels that serve you high tea in the British style. Let's review the names of the provinces.
You've heard about Canada's provinces, but it also has 3 territories: Nunavut, the Northwest Territories, and the Yukon Territory. The largest of these is Nunavut, which is the size of Western Europe. Despite its large size, there are only about 30,000 people who live there. Many of these people are Inuit and Aboriginal people who have lived there for 4,000 years. We would like to present a dance in the tradition of the Inuit. Their language was oral, and storytelling was always a very important part of their culture as they gathered on long winter nights after a day of hunting and fishing. Our dance is called Smiling Old Man, and please notice that Zach is dancing.
1, 2, ready, go.
love cute polar bear stuffed animals, and many of us have them. Canada is a home to about 60% of the world's polar.
But polar bears are having a harder and harder time surviving. They need Arctic ice to survive, and the Arctic ice is melting, and people still hunt polar bears.
I am worried about you, polar bear, in the snowy Arctic way up there. Your stark white home is melting fast. I hate that you should pay for that.
You have plenty of blubber, yes, plenty of fat, but with Arctic ice shrinking fast, food is scarce and so is home, and you are not being left alone.
It seems men have different plans for you. It bothers me so very much too. Polar bears were told in Inuit lore, but soon I'm afraid you'll be no more.
So listen up, people. I'm speaking to you. Stop warming and hunting. I'm warning you. Up in the Arctic, we'll search and stare, but no polar bears will be prowling there.
Good morning. Bonjour. My name is Antoine Pascal, and I am the host of Canada's most popular TV game show, Who Am I, eh? Our panel of judges will try to guess the identity of two famous Canadians from the past or present. If they guess correctly, they will receive a year's supply of fish and 2 tickets to a Justin Bieber concert, if they want them. Panelists, please introduce yourselves.
Howdy, fellow Canadians. My name is Carl, and I'm a rodeo rider in Calgary. I say so myself.
Good morning. My name is Melly. I'm an engineer who works on an oil rig off of Nova Scotia.
Hi, I'm Betty, a ski instructor in the Canadian Rockies.
Thank you. Let's begin. Mr. Guest number 1, please sign in. Remember, you only have 2 questions each. Please, use your 2 questions wisely.
What is your favorite color?
Monsieur, how is that important? If you must know, it is black.
Are you a Canadian from the past or the present?
I'm from the Canadian past, more than 350 years ago.
I want to know if you are associated in any particular province.
Oui, the great province of Quebec.
Excellent questions, Nellie and Betty. Thanks to you, we are getting somewhere. 1 more question each. Your turn again, Carl.
What is your shoe size?
Monsieur, you insult me with your petty questions. There were no shoe sizes in my day.
You said that you are connected to Quebec. Did you explore Quebec?
Oui, madame. The French king sent me to explore Canada and set up a permanent settlement. He was so proud of me when I founded Quebec City.
It sounds like you were pretty important. Is there anything big named after you?
I explored south into Canada with the south of Canada into what is now the United States. There is a large lake there named after me called Lake Champlain.
Well, panel, you have used up all your questions, but I think that we all know who our Mr. Guest is, right? Carl, shall I give you the honor of announcing our guest?
That means. Are you Jacques Cartier?
No, I'm the famous Samuel de Champlain. Cartier is nothing compared to me. He never set up a permanent settlement in Canada.
Sorry, Mr. Champlain. We regret. Well, that was awkward. Okay, it's time to get back to business. Panel, so far you have no fish and no Justin Bieber tickets.
We're okay with the last one.
Okay, you have one more mystery guest. Mystery guest number 2, please sign in. Nellie, let's start with you this time.
Are you a Canadian from the past or the present? I'm a Canadian from the present, but I am very much part of the American present too.
Do you have any special talents?
I guess I'm most known for my talents on the ice. I will be representing Canada in the Winter Olympics next month in Russia.
Oh, I can't wait for the Olympics. Are you one of those guys who can do triple axels and those incredible spins with one leg sticking out?
No. That's Olympic figure skating. I'm a hockey player. You say that you were part of the American present. Does that mean you play for an American hockey team? Yes. I'm the center of the Boston Bruins, and I helped them win the Stanley Cup Finals in 2011.
Goodness, out of 27 players on the Boston Bruins, I happen to know that 17 of them are Canadian. Can you give us a hint that would distinguish you from the others?
Well, I played in the Stanley Cup Finals with a separated shoulder, a broken nose, and a punctured lung.
Hey, that's nothing. I once roped a steer at the Calgary Stampede with a broken arm. Don't you think that would be harder?
I don't know.
Well, Carl, I don't know if you realize, but you should keep your last question. So, panel, who do you think our mystery guest is?
Well, we don't know what Carl thinks, but Betty and I think he was Patrice Bergeron, who plays for the Boston Bruins.
You are right. Yes, Patrice, come out here and say bonjour to our studio audience. And Ken, because you guessed correctly, a ton of fresh Canadian fish is coming to your houses right now. I am sorry to say, however, that Justin has canceled his concert, so there will not be any tickets. This is Antoinette Pascal saying goodbye and au revoir until next week.
Brenton is an island off the coast of Nova Scotia, which has a rich musical heritage. It is associated with fiddle music, played in lively Scottish or Celtic style. People from all over come to fiddle music festivals. Along with the music, step dancing and square dancing are very popular. Another tradition from this region is to use of spoons as percussion musical instruments.
We are now going to attempt, after 1 week of practice, to combine step dancing, square dancing, and spoon playing into one performance. Wish us luck, eh?
We have come a show.
We hope that you have enjoyed it and that you have learned a little about Canada's geography, culture, and history. We are closing our show with the Canadian National Anthem. The first verse contains the actual words. The second verse is original and tells you some of what we have learned. Have a good day, eh?
Was that not a presentation to be had? What do we say, boys and girls? I guarantee mine is not going to be that exciting, but we have a lot of awards to be giving out. Can I have the following students come up here? Evan, James Hogan, Nitya, Christian, Zach, Chloe, and last but not least, Joshua Dunlap. This is Evan's first assembly, and he gets to be the first leaf that gets awarded. Evan is nominated in the Leaf of Forest of Virtue. The virtue that Evan exhibits is fortitude. Evan is a new student here at BFCCPS. While this could be scary, Evan has worked hard to find his way around the school and has become fast friends with James and Addison. Evan works hard to do the right thing at the right time on a daily basis. One area I am very proud of Evan for doing so well is his participation in literature circles. Because Evan loves to read, I thought it would be a problem for him to stop reading where he's supposed to stop. Evan has been stellar in his reading role and his discussion and participation in literature circles. Since the first book, Evan would read the select section and come to give me his book to hold on to because he didn't want to read more than he was supposed to. This is true self-control because we know how much Evan loves to read and gets lost in his books. Evan is a surprise every day that I love looking forward to. Congratulations. Okay. The next two awards is actually, they get them for the same thing at the beginning, but then I give you a nice little special virtue at the end of that. James and Natika are being awarded for helping me at the end of the day. James and Natika are getting this league today for justice. More specifically, generosity and being a wonderful helper to me at the end of the day, both of you. I can rely on both James and Natika to help me clean up the classroom after a long day's mess. I love that James and Natika will generously help me to pick up paper, books, water bottles, and garbage off of the floor. They both do this without expecting anything in return, except for the occasional Jolly Rancher for their hard work at the end of the day. On Friday, I don't even have to ask them to count the tickets. Both he and Natika just do it without question. Now, James, this is specific to you, okay? I also want to recognize James for temperance and his continued work on self-control. James often reaches deep down inside himself to control his thoughts and emotions. He does this work on controlling himself for the sake of those around him. James has a wonderful heart, and it is a pleasure to have him in class. I will continue learning from him every day. Now, Natika, you show respect and compassion on a daily basis. And I love how you interact with James at the end of the day. It's really wonderful. And her teammates on a daily basis. She is a true friend to many friends in class. I love that I can sit her at any team, and she works very hard to keep them on task. It is a pleasure having her in class. I'm excited. Christian Gatto is being nominated in the Leap to Forrester Virtue. The virtue that Christian exhibits is fortitude. Christian is earning this lead for all aspects of fortitude: courage, optimism, and perseverance. In September, at the first birthday party of the year, Christian broke a bone in his foot, which rendered him in a cast for 3 months. Through it all, Christian remained optimistic, having to miss lunch in the cafeteria, not participate in gym and recess, and have to go up and down the stairs sitting down. Even with all of these big things with all these big things that not being able to pick up his backpack, pack his own backpack at the end of the day, get his own snack while maybe talking to friends on the way, and watch everyone else run ahead of him were the most taxing on you, weren't they? That was probably the hardest part. Christian is learning to walk again and also learning all the routines of the classroom over. It is a pleasure that I award Christian this lead, for he has shown true courage, optimism, and perseverance. I look forward to the rest of the year with Christian, cast free. Zach is being nominated in the Leaps to Forrester Virtue for fortitude as well. Zach deserves recognition for optimism. It is a huge adjustment coming to the 3rd grade, and the amount of homework and independent work can be overwhelming. Zach has grown in leaps and bounds in his ability to keep up with independent work during Daily 5. Zach has learned to manage his time so that he is able to do his favorite things during Daily 5. Read to someone and listen to reading. I would also like to recognize Zach for his sportsmanship and honesty. I can always rely on Zach to give me the true account of what has happened during any kind of controversy or mix-up. He is kind and thoughtful and is respectful to all his peers. I am truly enjoying having you in class. Chloe and Josh. Chloe is being nominated in the first Forest of Virtue for Temperance and Justice. Chloe is getting this leave today for Temperance and Justice, but could actually be receiving this leave for all the virtues. Chloe is my #1 female role model student. I have never known a more well-rounded student. There is not a time that Chloe has been off task or talking, really. In the midst of classroom chaos, Chloe can be always paying attention and getting her work completed. She is also the first to transition and is waiting for the next direction. Chloe is also being recognized for justice, more specifically friendship. Chloe is a very respected friend. She is always being sought out to be a partner or asked to join in groups. Some girls even recently had to put names in a hat to determine who would be in Chloe's group for a science class. She is that popular. Chloe has a way about her that makes those around her want to be the best they can. She is one of a kind student who is a pleasure to have in class. Josh is being nominated in the Forest of Virtue for Temperance. Josh is an all-around great student, and he earns the distinction because he has sound judgment and he makes good choices. Josh is my #1 male role model student and ticket earner. When work is assigned, Josh always gets right to work. At term one's end, I awarded tickets to students who had completed all their work. Josh was only one of 2 students who had completed all their work and turned it in on time, earning a total of 8 tickets. Josh is also a student who does the right thing at the right time, even when no one is looking. I love the determination and dedication he has to his work and friends. Josh is a wonderful go-to student who is a pleasure to have in class.
I appreciate my second grade buddies sitting here. I know it's hard to sit, so I'm gonna be zipping here, okay?
Hello. Hello, audience. Miss Davis is so awesome, and we wouldn't be able to do this play without her, and we all love her. Thank you.
Okay. Could I please have my pals Thomas, Maggie, John, Kate, Chris, Broyles, Corinne, and Liam, come on up. All right, here we go. Thomas is a very bright and respectful student and a friend to all in the classroom. What I want to recognize today is Thomas's fortitude in sticking with tasks that others might be tempted to perform in a more cursory fashion. Thomas takes his time on his tests, never worrying that others might be finished ahead of him. He is a perfectionist, and he really wants to put in his best effort on his work product. The result is that his work is consistently well done and a pleasure for me as his teacher to read and correct. I appreciate Thomas's efforts to persevere in attending in class as well, participating more in our discussions and not getting distracted by gadgets and gizmos aplenty. I also appreciate his courage. Though always respectful of the views of others, Thomas is someone who states his own convictions proudly and without reservation. Thomas is a pleasure to have in our classroom, and I am pleased to be able to recognize him today. This is Maggie Drury. Maggie is a model student in many ways. She is conscientious, respectful, and hardworking. What I want to highlight today is her compassion towards all creatures, big and small, and her sense of fairness. When we talk in our classroom about science, I never cease to be amazed at the wealth of knowledge that this 4th grader has about the world around her. It is clear from her comments and contributions to our discussions that Maggie cares deeply about animals and the environment, and it would not surprise me in the least if she makes that her life's calling. But further, Maggie shows real compassion for her fellow classmates. She has a very strong sense of fairness, and if she believes that we need to be more aware of the golden rule, she brings her concerns to my attention or another adult. In her own quiet way, Maggie tries to make sure that everyone feels safe and happy in school. Maggie will always make the world around her a better place. As you can probably tell, this is John Lyons, but as you can probably tell from our assembly today, John has a very funny and interesting personality. It would have been easy, as we practiced for our assembly, for someone playing the role that John played to get carried away and get exceedingly silly. I want to commend John for staying focused as we prepared and being a pleasure to work with. I also want to give him a lot of credit for showing self-control in the classroom, paying attention during lessons, sticking with tests that he would rather be reading, and when he would rather be reading, and on many days sitting down to do math homework while waiting for dismissal. Though still a very fun-loving student, John has matured this year and become a more serious student. And he has been a complete pleasure to work with. So that, I realize I'm not telling you what virtue you're showing. Of course you show all the virtues, but your particular one you're being highlighted for is temperance. Thank you. This is Chris Broyles. He's getting a leaf for fortitude. Chris finds fourth grade a little demanding at times, but I want to let him know that I appreciate the kindness, compassion, optimism, and generosity he exhibits in the classroom every day. When we have our not infrequent water bottle fiascos, Chris is there with a quick hand and a paper towel. He has tried to make our newest student feel at home. He offered to bring in numerous props for our assembly, and he even agreed to step dance when I was pleading with students to give it a try to make our show the best it could be. Chris always has a ready smile and a twinkle in his eye. He even accepts constructive criticism with a smile and a nod. Not everyone knows, but Chris has a very time-consuming commitment to gymnastics, so he shows fortitude every day as he balances academics and athletics. Every class benefits from having students like Chris, and I thank him for his efforts. Kate O'Rourke is getting a leaf for justice. If you're looking for a model student, look no further than Kate. Kate is a kind friend to all. She is respectful of her classmates and her teachers. Ask her to work with anyone in the class, and she does so willingly, actively engaging her partner in discussions of the work. I have watched her as she politely disagrees with fellow students and tries to convince them of her point of view, which is exactly what you want a student to do. Kate dots every I and crosses every T, never taking shortcuts, but doing an honest day's work as a BFCCPS student. Do I need someone to pass out papers without fanfare and chit-chat? Kate's my girl. Do I ever worry that if Kate is out in the hallway with a reading buddy that they won't be reading? Never. Kate is sweet, smart, and fun, and I love having her in the classroom. This is Corinne Jacques. Corinne, you're getting a leaf for temperance. I don't think anyone in the classroom would be surprised to find out that I consider Corinne my go-to girl in the class whenever we are transitioning to a new lesson or I need everyone's attention. When the bell rings or I raise my hand, Corinne is the first to react, and she cutely looks around to see if any others are getting on board. Corinne's excellent self-control and attention mean that she's also one of the first people in the class to raise a hand to respond to a question. If she's not called upon immediately, she patiently waits her turn, not making noises or ever speaking out of turn. Corinne also shows wonderful self-control in the classroom, as she showed it when we prepared in the excitement of preparing for our assembly. That is one reason why she was out in front of our step dancing. She was always paying careful attention to instructions. It is a joy having Corinne in the classroom. This is Mr. Liam Concanon. He's getting a leaf for justice. Recently, when I asked my students to recommend someone for a leaf in the Forest of Virtue, Liam received more nominations than anyone else in the classroom. That is undoubtedly because Liam shows kindness, fairness, and generosity to everyone. He works well with anyone in the classroom, boy or girl, and is always one of the first to offer genuine help. If Liam is out for a day, which is a rare event, he does not expect that any allowances shall be made for him. He just gets every last bit of done work quickly and efficiently. When he was a member of the board of directors of Wolflitz, Inc., he took his position very seriously and made every effort to make sure that our little business ran smoothly. In the past few weeks, Liam has helped a new student adjust to our classroom and the rules and procedures of our school. I have watched as he has explained our practices very thoroughly to Christy in a way that is friendly and accepting. Liam's leave is very well deserved.
Good morning. Thank you for the applause earlier. This is my first time giving leave, so I appreciate you all very much. Can I please have Silas, Julia, Thomas, Sophia, Alex, Aditya, please come up to the stage. Okay, so first I have Silas, and he is nominated for a leaf in the Forest of Virtue because he has been exhibiting justice. He is one of the most caring students that I know. He continually puts the needs of others before his own. He shows the utmost respect not only for his classmates, but for every teacher that he comes in contact with. He is a very hard worker. He was elected one of the board of directors for our Rainbow Loom fundraiser, and he showed incredible responsibility with the tasks that he was given. He made sure his work was completed, and when finished, offered to help others with what they needed done. He has a very strong focus on the well-being of others, and he has a very positive impact on our classroom environment. Next I have Julia, who is nominated for a leaf for exhibiting justice as well. Julia is receiving the leaf for justice. She's a very generous student who is always willing to help others without expecting anything in return. She is, just like Silas, very respectful to any classmate or teacher that she comes in contact with. She understands the expectations in the classroom and the school and does not need to be asked more than once to complete a task. She is a great leader in the classroom, having kindness and compassion for everyone she comes in contact with. She's a very caring friend who is always concerned with their feelings, making sure that all is okay. She is a delight to have in the classroom and a very wonderful young lady. This is Sophia. She's nominated for a leaf for prudence. Sophia is an amazing young lady. She is always exemplifying positive behavior in the classroom and continually making good choices and always comes in ready to learn. Sophia is someone I can count on to be doing the right thing and making smart choices even when the classroom can seem to be in chaos. Sophia is a very thoughtful girl. She will quietly help others without being asked, and she's always making positive choices in and out of the classroom and is a real role model for other students. She is an asset to our school, and I thoroughly enjoy having her as a student. Thomas, nominated for a leaf for temperance. Thomas is receiving this leaf for temperance. He has exhibited this trait since he first stepped into the classroom. Thomas is always willing to help his classmates and any adults in the classroom. When volunteers are needed in the classroom to put away materials or pass out papers, Thomas always has his hand raised or will just get up and do it without being asked. Thomas is also very courteous towards others and has excellent manners. He is very polite with adults and respectful of all of his teachers. He is definitely a role model for other students and definitely a go-to student as far as academics are concerned. He's a very positive example, and I really enjoy having him in the class. Alex. Alex is nominated for a leaf for exhibiting fortitude. He is a wonderful addition to the classroom environment. He has worked very hard since the moment he has entered the room. He sets goals for himself and works extremely hard to meet them. He perseveres no matter what obstacles may stand in his way. In addition to classroom work, Alex played an integral part in our class fundraiser. Alex not only encouraged other students to complete their tasks during our fundraiser, but was always volunteering to do additional tasks as one of our board of directors. He worked very hard to to make sure that he completed this task to the best of his ability, and I thoroughly enjoy having him in class. And last but certainly not least, Aditya is a very positive role model in the classroom, and he is nominated for a Leaf for Temperance as well. He is always ready to go, and a student who definitely does not need a direction more than one time. He is very well organized, and just as Thomas was said, always willing to volunteer to help out in the classroom, no matter if it's from putting computers away, which is not the most exciting task, to helping out with whatever's needed. He also takes the initiative to help out with other students. This could be from helping another student with their classwork or helping put something away. He is definitely a go-to student as far as academic goes and always willing to help and will never turn someone away. He's a great example in the classroom, very responsible, and I very enjoy having you in my class.
Good morning, everybody. We have 6 class leads to present this morning. May I please call up to the stage Gracie Barker, Garrett Cortese, Hannah Hogan, Nitin Tiravidi, Tyler Apicella, and Aria Farrington-Leet. This is Gracie Barker. Gracie is receiving this leaf in the Forest of Virtue for demonstrating temperance, more specifically, always acting the right way at the right time. Gracie comes to school prepared and ready to learn each and every day. Without any teacher direction, she settles right into daily classroom routines and makes the most out of every minute of her school day. During class lessons, she is always attentive and an active participant. I am very impressed by her willingness to raise her hand and take the risk to answer questions in front of the class. She is an excellent role model in our classroom community, as she is someone I can count on to follow classroom rules and routines without any problem. I am privileged to have a student like Gracie in my class. Thank you, Gracie, for all of your efforts. This is Garrett. Garrett is receiving this leaf in the Forest of Virtue for demonstrating fortitude, more specifically for the perseverance he puts forth each day. I am so proud of how hard Garrett has been working in 3rd grade. Garrett now understands what is expected of him and follows through with his responsibilities. As a 3rd grader, Garrett has faced many new challenges, such as longer writing assignments, trying to master math facts, and more homework. He is working very, very hard for me and not giving up. It is because of this effort and hard work he receives this leaf in the Forest of Virtue today. Congratulations, Garrett. This is Hannah Hogan. Hannah is receiving this leaf in the Forest of Virtue for demonstrating justice, more specifically for being kind, generous, and caring. Hannah is the type of person that anyone would like to have as a friend. One reason people enjoy her company is because she is such a good listener. I have witnessed interactions between Hannah and her peers and watched her express comfort and empathy towards a friend in need. When working with a partner or in a group, Hannah listens and is accepting of others' opinions and ideas. It is because of her sincerity and understanding of others she is truly special. Hannah is a beautiful person inside and out. With these characteristics of justice that she possesses, I am sure she will always be surrounded by many friends. This is Nitin. Nitin is receiving this leaf in the Forest of Virtue for demonstrating temperance, for demonstrating patience, obedience, and good manners. Nitin is an excellent role model in our class, as he is always one to work quietly, raise his hand when he has something to share, and wait patiently for his turn to speak. He is mindful not to interrupt while I am teaching a lesson or working with another student. His good example is one we should all try to follow. Nitin, your efforts to be a conscientious student do not go unnoticed. I appreciate your patience, courtesy, and hard work in our classroom every day. This recognition is well deserved. This is Tyler. Tyler is receiving this leaf in the Forest of Virtue for demonstrating prudence, more specifically having the wisdom to steer away from conflicts, having sound judgment, and making wise choices. He is someone that many children enjoy being around, as he is careful not to speak impulsively or act aggressively towards another. He is one I can count on to always be doing the right thing at the right time. Tyler's calm presence is a gift to any classroom. Congratulations, Tyler. Your integrity will take you far. And this is Aria. Aria is receiving this leaf in the Forest of Virtue for demonstrating fortitude, for the determination she puts into learning, as well as the qualities of good citizenship she displays. I am thrilled with how hard Aria has been working in 3rd grade. She comes into the classroom each day and immediately settles into her morning routine. During our morning math lessons, Aria is always one to give me her undivided attention, raise her hand to participate, and as a result, has learned so many new strategies to help her meet some really tough math challenges. Aria is also a model citizen. She demonstrates genuine loyalty and compassion to her friends and fellow classmates. It is because of her commendable effort and good citizenship she relieves this last leaf in the Forest of Virtue today. Congratulations. And that will bring a close to our assembly. Have a great day, everybody.